There's a version of wealth you never see on Instagram. No watches, no cars, no beachfront mansions. Just a quiet life, completely frictionless, where the hard parts of being alive, the waiting, the fighting for access, the logistics, simply don't exist. And it's not luck. It's not inheritance. It's a set of subscriptions, invisible ones, that most people don't even know exist. Here's what's wild. The gap between the rich and the ultra-rich isn't really about how much money they have, it's about what that money is quietly buying them every single month. Time, access, health, and the life that runs itself. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 5 subscriptions that the top 1% pay for that most people have never heard of. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the wealthy aren't just richer, they're playing an entirely different game. Now, before we get into it, most people think the separation between them and the ultra-wealthy is just a number, a bigger salary, a larger portfolio. But here's what they don't know. The real separation is infrastructure, the systems quietly running underneath a wealthy person's life. And in 2026, that infrastructure is subscription-based. Let's get into it. Concierge Lifestyle Management, Knightsbridge Circle. The first subscription most people have never heard of is a lifestyle manager. Not a personal assistant, not a travel agent. A fixer. Someone whose entire job is to make the impossible happen. For you, on demand. Knightsbridge Circle is the most exclusive of these services in the world. Their average client has a net worth of $800 million. Their staff-to-member ratio? 5-to-1, the highest globally. What does that actually mean? It means when you call, someone answers, immediately. And whatever you need, a table at a fully booked restaurant, a last-minute private medical appointment, a deck chair reserved at a luxury resort in the south of France, it gets handled. No calls, no waiting, no friction. The annual fee starts at around £40,000, and that's the entry level. But here's the catch. You can't just buy your way in. Knightsbridge Circle is invitation only, because at this level, money is assumed. What they're actually screening for is whether you belong. That's the first invisible wall. Now, if that surprised you, the next one goes even deeper. Longevity Medicine, Fountain Life Apex. Most people treat their health reactively. Something breaks, you fix it. The ultra-wealthy treat health like a portfolio. Something to be actively managed, optimized, and grown. There's a company called Fountain Life, and their top-tier membership, the Apex package, costs between $50,000 and $100,000 per year. What does it include? Full-body MRIs, brain scans, over 100 blood biomarker panels analyzed by AI, stem cell therapy, and something called therapeutic plasma exchange, where they literally replace your plasma to eliminate toxins and reduce inflammation at the cellular level. This isn't medicine, this is biological engineering. Here's why this matters. The wealthy aren't just buying a longer life, they're buying more operational years, more years to build, to invest, to compound. While the average person waits 3 weeks for a 7-minute doctor's appointment, the ultra-wealthy are getting a 60-minute unrushed session with one of 50 patients on their doctor's entire roster. That's not healthcare, that's a competitive advantage. Let's pause here for a second. Notice what's happening. These aren't luxury purchases. They're not watches or cars or status symbols. They're systems, quietly running in the background, making sure that the wealthy person's attention never gets pulled into the logistics of living. That's the game. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Private members clubs, Aman Club NYC. You've probably heard of Soho House. Creative types, networking events, a trendy bar, annual dues around $3,000. That's the entry level. At the top of the hierarchy sits the Aman Club in New York City. $200,000 initiation fee, $15,000 in annual dues, designed specifically for post-exit founders and ultra-high net worth individuals who need one thing above everything else: privacy. No cameras, no press, no networking events where you hand out business cards. Just a room of people who've already won, quietly figuring out what to do next. But here's the one thing no one tells you about clubs like this. The real value isn't the facilities, it's the deal flow. The conversations in rooms like this don't get announced. They don't get tweeted. They don't get covered on Bloomberg. One conversation at the Aman Club can be worth more than a year of cold outreach, pitch decks, and investor meetings. That's what $200,000 actually buys. Private aviation. Wheels up. Now here's where most people assume they know what's coming. Private jets, rich people flying private, we've heard it. But here's the thing. Owning a jet is old money thinking. The modern wealthy don't own jets, they subscribe to them. Wheels Up operates as a membership program. $8,500 annual fee plus a $100,000 pre-funded deposit gives you access to a curated fleet on demand. Year 1, flying 50 hours, you're looking at $250,000 to $300,000. But compare that to fractional ownership through NetJets, where a light jet share costs $850,000 up front, $12,000 to $28,000 a month in management fees, and the asset depreciates 30 to 50% over the contract term. The wealthy aren't buying the plane, they're buying the hour, because time is the only asset that doesn't compound. You can't make more of it, you can only stop wasting it. 4 hours on a commercial flight versus 90 minutes private, that's not a comfort decision. That's a productivity decision. The JP Morgan Reserve Card. This is the one most people have never heard of. Not the Amex Centurion, not the Chase Sapphire, the JP Morgan Reserve Card. To even qualify, you need a minimum of $10 million in assets held with JP Morgan Private Bank. The median cardholder balance? Closer to $100 million. The card itself is made of 23-karat gold and laser-etched palladium. It weighs 5 times as much as a standard card. But the card isn't the point. The point is what comes with it. A 12-to-1 client-to-advisor ratio through the private bank, direct access to NetJets deals, and the ability to move large sums of money across borders instantly with zero friction. While everyone else is filling out wire transfer forms and waiting 3 business days, this card moves money like a text message. That's the quiet part. The wealthy don't just have more money, their money moves differently. Here's what all 5 of these have in common. None of them are about showing off. No one posts their Knightsbridge Circle membership on Instagram. Nobody brags about their Fountain Life plasma exchange. The Aman Club literally prohibits photography. This is quiet wealth. Infrastructure wealth, and that's what separates the truly wealthy from the people who just look wealthy. One group is spending money on things people can see. The other is spending money on systems that buy back their time, protect their health, and open doors that don't exist for anyone else. The question isn't whether you can afford these subscriptions today. Most people watching this can't, and that's fine. The question is, are you building toward a life with less friction? Or are you spending your energy on the logistics of just getting by? Because that's what this is really about. The wealthy aren't smarter, they're not always more talented. They've just systematically removed every obstacle between their attention and what actually matters. That's the subscription no one talks about. Time protected at all costs. If this opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds and it means more than you think. And if you're not subscribed yet, do it now, because every week we go deeper into the side of wealth nobody talks about. The real mechanics, the quiet moves, the stuff that actually separates people who build wealth from people who just talk about it. It's all right here. Don't miss it.